Sometimes you try to do the right thing. Other times it just doesn't work out. And sometimes they don't even care. And some people, they don't even know the difference. You know, the thing about people that are incompetent is that they don't know they're incompetent. And everywhere they go, it's a disaster. You know why? Because they brought it with them. They think that the chaos and all the calamity and all this panicking and rushing around at every gig is the way gigs are done. That's because they don't know any better, because they're incompetent. And I've noticed a trend too. When I run into people that aren't very good at what they do, usually the more ignorant they are in their own craft, usually equals that they have a very high opinion of themselves. And that happens to be the case with our least favorite production manager in New York City. And the thing about being a production manager is you are the first one there and you're the last one to leave. This production manager in particular, he is the last one to get there and the first one to leave. His reputation for leaving the gig before it's all really over is so much precedes him that his nickname, and your nickname is not something you can give yourself, it's given to you. And his nickname is Thank You, Goodnight, Taillights. He earned that name because when the artist is still on stage waving goodbye, going, thank you, good night, he's driving away down the street and all you can see of him are the taillights of his car. Thank you, good night, taillights. It's very appropriate. Now, he's ruined a lot of shows, and I've done a lot of shows with him in the past. Thank God it's been some time since he's ruined an event that I've been on. But I've even gone far as to go to Europe with this guy. We get all the way to Amsterdam, get off the plane, and he has no idea where we're going. He has no idea where the hotel, he has no idea where the venue is. He has no contact at all. And I don't know if you know where Europe is, but it's a little east of here, okay? And for somebody that's supposed to know literally everything about the show as being the production manager, to go not knowing anything what's going on, not even a witness, like a Mr. Magoo of the whole thing, it's pretty impressive that you can continually be hired and continue to do such a poor job. So I'm working at Radio City Music Hall and we're doing a gig which is Divas. Now I've done Divas at a bunch of different venues around town and the gig is exactly what you think it is. It's a bunch of divas that are going to be there and try to out-diva each other. So it's the opposite of a bunch of guys throwing testosterone around. They're throwing something around, and it always makes for an unsightly show. Even with the best directors, with the best production managers, with the best laid team, you get a bunch of divas together, you got to put them on one stage. Some things aren't going to go as planned, okay? So we're at Radio City getting ready to do this Divas show. The show loads in, and two friends of mine are with the sound company. My buddy Vinny and my buddy Simon. And they look like they've just come through combat. I'm like, guys, what is up? They said, oh man, we were there at the rehearsals all night long till 6 o'clock in the morning. There was absolutely no labor for us at all. We had to load everything out by ourselves. We have not slept all night. We haven't had anything to eat. These guys looked so miserable. I said, guys, how did this happen? Like, what's going on here? Like, who is the production manager for this thing? And then they said it. It was, thank you, good night, taillights. I said, oh, that explains it all. And then, of course, after the show's almost completely loaded in, he shows up. He should have been the first one there. And as usual, he was the last, right? Barely a witness. And let me tell you this, the show was 100% a train wreck by anybody's standard. We hit every meal penalty. We got every fine. I mean, it was the show was a disaster on every level. It was literally the most money I ever made in a single day at Radio City Music Hall. And let me tell you something, that is a bold statement. And the reason that is because the production manager was doing such a fuck up, incapable of scheduling the day, incapable of scheduling a lunch break, incapable of scheduling a dinner break, incapable of putting anything together at all. And as the entire show went on, I don't remember seeing him one time even looking at the stage to see what was going on. The headliner for the show completely ran roughshod over everybody. Nobody would step up. I mean, the whole thing was a disaster. by any level. And I'll tell you what, I remember this. I remember the last song, standing over on stage right, and there's Thank You Goodnight Taillights. First time I'd seen him on stage all night, and he's talking to the producer who's sweating bullets, because this is going to be the biggest bill of all time. And he goes, yeah, really nailed another one. Like he's high-fiving himself, like he's got his cape on and ready to go. And I had to go to the street to check on the trucks. I go out in the street and I could still hear the band playing on stage. They're doing the last song, Thank You Goodnight. And I look down the street and what do you think I see? Taillights.